Hi guys, Matt back again with the second of two unboxing videos of the new Perry Miniatures Franco-Prussian War range. So the first one was all about the Prussians, basically a gun being sponged and a gun being fired, and a command base as well. Well, command base of 4 or 5 commanders, including the guy on a horse. So now we're looking at the French. Now, when I started doing Franco-Prussian War, I did buy, the first miniatures I bought were the Eagles of Empire ones, and I bought 32 French and 32 Prussians because I wasn't really sure which side I was going to go. And as I got into it a little bit more, I really kind of went down the kind of Prussian route. Not just because they won, but you know, I like the uniforms. I like the artillery in particular. Really interests me. I love my guns. If you've seen any of my previous videos, can't stop painting ECW guns. So you know, I do a lot of those. So that kind of took me down that route. You know, they've got the big Krupp 40-pounders, but the French guns weren't actually too bad either, and basically they were a bit more old-fashioned than the Prussian guns, and the French used something called Le Hit 4 or Le Hite 4. I can't know how to pronounce it. And the Perrys have brought out 2 different versions of the French guns as well. So we've got the a gun being sponged again and cleaned up, ready for firing, and another gun that's firing. So let's look at the 2 French miniatures. So I've got no idea which is which, as before. This could be the sponger, this could be the one firing. Let's take a look and let's have a look. So, this is a lot different from the Prussian one. Okay, so with this one, we've got wheels again, of course, and the carriage. Okay, finally remembered what it's called now. It's not called the base, the gun carriage. Okay, everybody's screaming at the screen. Yeah. Okay, so I've got gun carriage and a few little bits and pieces that probably go on the back. Okay, a chain. No idea what that does. I'll have to take a look at some pictures before I assemble these things. Gun carriage, as I would expect. Wheels, pretty straightforward. Just clean the flash off. Again, quite large and thin. And the barrel's a lot more closer to what you'd expect a early 19th century barrel to look like. Okay, so the Hit 4s, I don't think they were breech loaders. I'm not sure, they may not have been. May have been. Okay, I'll have to research that. But basically, yeah, much cleaner than the Prussian. So, guy with a sponge. Actually, it looks like a ramrod to me. Yeah, guy with the ramrod. Okay, sponge on that end, ramrod on the other. So double-ended. Now, big difference with the French. They've got more sort of pantaloons on. Their caps rather than helmets. Okay, they look a bit more modern, don't they? The French uniforms look, oddly enough, a lot more modern than the Prussian uniforms. Okay, also got their greatcoats over their shoulders, which is unusual for the French actually. Usually there's this folded over the back of their backpack, and a little bandana, a little bandolier there, with probably some ammunition in a pack on the back. So quite a kind of clean-looking figure. Okay, that's one guy. So 4-man crew again, same as the Prussians. Obviously, commander, watching what's going on. Okay, he's got a little pouch at the front. Again, with his greatcoat over his shoulder. Some people think these are blankets. They're not blankets, they are actually greatcoats that have been rolled up and tied at the end and put over their shoulders. At least they are for the Prussians. Okay, I'm not 100% sure about the French, but the Prussian thing folded up over the shoulder is the greatcoat. It's a grey greatcoat. Okay, so looks nice, doesn't he? I love how compact the Perrys make their figures. The ECW ones are the same. They look, sometimes they look a little bit short and squat, but they're really well proportioned. The proportions are great. I tell you what, I love rubbing them with my fingers, and then it kind of gives them a little, yeah, shine. Excellent. Okay, so, and the third guy, oh, what's he doing? He is possibly, oh, I know what he's doing, yeah. I think he is opening the breech. So the length of wood he's got there. Okay, so he doesn't burn himself. Yeah, I think he's about to bring the breech open. Okay, and then a guy kind of thinking to himself, why am I here? Been deafened. Yeah, probably should laugh about that. Yeah, he's just been deafened by the gunshot. So this is a gun that's just gone off. Okay, this is a gun that's just been fired. It is nice. That's a nice pose. One thing you get some really kind of characterful poses. Okay, really adds to the scene, doesn't it? Like I say, I can't wait to get these guys painted up. The caps are really great, aren't they? I was watching a video the other day. No, in fact, was I watching a video? It was a video or reading something about the French, and when you look at the French, they look a lot like the American Civil War troops, don't they? You know, the what was it called? The capes, the little caps that the American Civil War kelpies that the American Civil War guys used to wear. And you think, oh, they've copied the Americans, but in fact it was the other way around. The Americans were obsessed with the French uniform, and you know, you see all these guys at West Point in the 19th century all dressed very smartly. It's very French. It's a very French look that influenced both the Union and the Confederate troops, both for the officers and for the men. So it wasn't that the French copied the Americans, it was the Americans copied the French in their uniforms. Okay, that is one thing that I know is true. Okay, so that's the first guy. So this is the gun being fired. Okay, so the law of averages means that this is the gun that is being sponged. Okay, so again, wheels, not much you can say about those. This is the ramrod and the sponge, so I need to remove that. So that is actually loose this time, so probably got to put that into the guy's hand. It's interesting. Oh, this is the guy, yeah, he's driving home the sponge. Okay, that's pretty straightforward, isn't it? Put that into his hand at some point. Okay, so he's driving home the sponge. I really like the French uniforms. You can imagine it, can't you? All the blue with the red, and I love the fact they've given us something to paint on as well. So we haven't got to kind of just try and freehand a piece of red piping down the leg of the French, because their uniforms are pretty much blue all over with a white strap and red piping down the legs. Very simple, and then a blue cap with red piping around the top. So very, very simple to paint. Okay, and then you've got the white gaiters and black boots. Okay, really nice, really nice. And then a couple more things. So guy with his, he must be the guy looking after the ammunition. So he's about to take a wad out of his pouch. Okay. No beards on the French, or even moustaches, to be honest, so they're a lot less hairy looking than the Prussians. Okay. And last guy, he is manoeuvring the gun, so he's not loading the gun, he's actually manoeuvring it. So I think with what we have is a oh, got someone else here, like a long I'm sure these things have got names, you know. Long piece of metal pole, isn't it? Basically used as a lever for kind of shifting the gun around. Yeah, it kind of hooks in the end of the gun, hooks in the end of the carriage, and then you kind of lift it and manoeuvre it around. Yeah, and that's what he's doing. He's lifting the gun at the back. Okay, again, fabulous, aren't they? They take paint so well, as well, because they're such straightforward sculpts. You know, the paint goes on so easily. They're so easy to paint. It's unbelievable. Even more easily than the English Civil War figures. Okay. Oh, I've done that guy already. And last guy. He is potentially. What's he got? Oh, it's a sword. Okay. So I'm assuming he's in command. I think he's just kind of, if he's looking down the barrel of the gun, kind of making sure the aim is true, isn't he? And he's got epaulets on. He's the only one in epaulets. Yeah. So, assuming he's the commander. So he's the commander. Was there another guy with epaulets on the other one? No. No, there's only one guy in the two boxes who's got epaulets. Okay. His uniform's a little bit more sophisticated, isn't it? Yeah, he's got epaulets and he's got a frock coat as well. Okay, rather than a tunic. So he is obviously the commander, yeah. Yeah. Right, really nice. Okay, I'm hoping now that I can get at least one of these guns painted up by the end of the weekend. I'm going to try and do one French and one Prussian to show you the difference between the two. Who knows how far I'll get. I'm just finishing off some infantry at the minute. I'm actually finishing off some French infantry at the minute, because what I realised is I need an opponent. I need to paint up the French so that I've actually got an opponent for my Prussians, and so I've gone down the French route as well. And if you've been keeping up with the Perry's releases, you'll know that they've also got quite a few French infantry as well that they've released in metal, I think. And so I might be purchasing some of those. I say I might be. Oh, I will be. Okay. So I'll give you a little quick glimpse of the French. Quick glimpse of the French. I don't like showing half-painted figures, but these are the Eagle of Empires ones. Yeah? It's only half-painted, so apologies. So this is a work in progress. And I've got about 10 of these guys in this state at the moment. Just need to finish these off. And I was just waiting on some 40 by 40 bases from war bases, and they came today, so I can start basing these guys up. Like I say, it's a work in progress. I'm not finished yet. Okay, but these are the Eagle of Empires guys. All right, so this is going to be quite interesting to see how they compare with the Perry French. Okay, so as you can see, there's not a huge amount of difference in terms of well, there's no difference at all in terms of height, and I know that already from the Prussians. Okay, Okay, so I'm definitely going to invest in some Perry French, and then they'll go in alongside my Eagle of Empires. Eagles of Empire. I keep saying it wrong every single time. Eagles of Empire French. Okay, like I say, not finished. Okay, don't come at me. Okay, guys. So, gonna get a couple of cannons done over the weekend, and I will probably post something up, possibly Bank Holiday Monday, and let you show you how that's gone on. Like I say, I love doing cannons, absolutely love cannons, and so they're just going to be an absolute pleasure to paint up. Okay, guys, thanks for watching again. Hope this has been interesting for you. Possibly this is going to push you into Franco-Prussian. You know, the more people, the merrier, and I might even get an opponent one day. You never know. And well, from me and the French, au revoir.